If you're buying a home, bright, new, and shiny is super appealing, and new construction is a great avenue to go down. But there are some things you definitely want to know before you head down that road because they don't always tell you everything. New construction is a phenomenal way to get the house you want and to customize it exactly how you want it right from the beginning. Because move-in ready these days is a beautiful thing. But you want to make sure that you read the fine print because there's some misconceptions out there on new construction. The first thing is your timeline. Make sure you're looking at your contract because while the builder may estimate 6 months or 8 months, or as of late, it's looking more like 12 to 14 months, sometimes the contract gives them several years to get the job done and still be within contract. So if you're renting a place or staying at your mother-in-law's house, you want to make sure you really know what those timelines are. The second thing that you need to know is whether or not your builder is locking in your price. You can pay a certain amount to reserve a lot, but once you actually sign the contract to have the house built, the price can change up or down if you add or take away upgrades, but what you really need to read the fine print on is whether or not your price changes if the price of materials change. Some builders, if you sign the dotted line and prices go up, that's still the price you pay at the end of the day. But others have actually started writing in some language that says if lumber goes up, so does your price. So make sure you're really reviewing your paperwork and know what you're getting into. And if you're working with a builder who does lock in prices, then sign it immediately. Because the builders I'm talking to are all saying into 2022, lumber, windows, prices of materials are gonna go up. So lock it in now. And get outside of the footprint of your house. Yes, you want to know about the specs of everything happening on your lot, but ask the builder what are the long-term plans for the neighborhood, especially if it's a brand new community that's just being built. Are they going to add in any amenities? Is the HOA fee going to reflect that? Could it be $40 now and $400 later? You want to make sure you know what you're getting into and ask them what's happening in the surrounding areas. This beautiful subdivision with a yard that backs up to trees, is that going to be commercial in 5 years? Really good things to pay attention to as you're choosing the neighborhood you want to build in. Once you get into the process, you also need to realize that you have every right to be involved. Doesn't necessarily mean that you get to camp out on site for 8 hours a day, but you absolutely have the right to show up to your property, to take a look at what's happening, and to somewhat supervise to make sure the things that you're picking are going in the way that you imagined. And once your home is built, remember to do a final walkthrough. A lot of times builders will give you blue painter's tape to mark off any issues. You want to go through that with a fine-tooth comb, and I would even suggest bring a couple of friends or very detail-oriented family members and make sure you go through the punch list because the best time to get repairs done is before the house is sold. Yes, builders will come back, but they're going to have other things on their schedule, and if they're waiting for the house to close, they're going to get your work done. So do the punch list before closing and get those repairs done if you can. And if the thought of all these contracts and fine print and land details and zoning laws gives you a little bit of pushback, this is a great opportunity to involve your realtor in the process. And most builders are going to work with your realtor, but they're only going to work with them if you bring them with you the very first time you go to the property. If you register at a new construction site and didn't bring your realtor with you, they may, out of the kindness of their heart, help you, but the builder is usually not going to compensate them for their time. So just make sure that you bring your A-team right from the beginning. Buying new construction is a great option. Everything's new and shiny. It usually comes with a warranty, and oftentimes you know exactly what it is that you're getting. You just want to make sure you go in with both eyes open and you bring your team of experts in right from the beginning. So if you're considering new construction and needing to get approved for a mortgage and you've been paying attention to rates lately, you've probably heard that they're going up a little bit. Don't freak out. I've got a great video that explains exactly why you should step back from the ledge. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.